everybody. Welcome to Straight Up BS Podcast. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Thank you to all my Patreon members and anybody that's interacted with the videos. I really appreciate it. I want to do a moment of silence for the person still struggling with intrusive thoughts or addiction or anything like that. So on the count of three, I'm going to do a moment of silence. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for that. And without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce my guest for the day. Go ahead and introduce yourself and where you went and what years.
My name's Icie. I went by Icie Par in school when I went to the program, and it was Czechoslovakia Morava Academy. I went there April 1998 till it shut down in November of 98.
Okay, and walk us through your childhood a little bit and what led up to you being sent to the program.
Well, how long do you have? I was a rebellious teen and, just didn't listen, didn't go to school, didn't really do too many drugs. I smoked pot a little bit, I think, before I went. But I just wasn't following the rules. And I got involved with a guy, and he was in a gang, and my mother was terrified for my life, and he was threatening things, and she came across this school in the Czech Republic and said, well, it doesn't look like she could run away from there. So 2 weeks later, I was there.
Okay. Did they tell you that you were going to be going to any sort of school or anything like that?
No, no, not until I knew nothing until the two escorts woke me up in the middle of the night, scared the shit out of me, handcuffed me, and took me away to the airport right away. My mother had everything packed and ready to go, and I should have known something was going on the day before. I had a doctor's appointment. She took me out to dinner with my brother and got our nails done, and yeah, and then we flew off to Utah, and we were there. I think I was there for 2 weeks and waiting on a passport, and then I was sent to Czech. What's funny is I had a layover in Atlanta, which is where I'm from, and they were debating on whether to let me see my mother before I got on the plane to Czech, and she did. They did let her see me, but we had a security guard and everything. So it was crazy.
Okay. And what do you remember about your transport?
16 hours, I think, of a flight. I get to Vienna airport, and God, what is his name? There was a male staff member, I can't remember his name, and then the director, the actual director, Stephen Roach, waiting at the airport for me. And then they drove me to Brno, where Morava Academy was. It looked like an older hotel when we pulled up, and come to find out that's what it was beforehand and afterwards. But it was a good ride. I mean, we didn't it wasn't bad. It was a beautiful scenery and everything. I was just nervous, I guess. And we get into the doors of the school. They immediately shut, and then that's when I'm informed we're not walking out of those doors again until you complete level 6, I think he said. I have so many memories of back then, but I can't. There's a lot I don't remember that I think I'm purposely blocking out.
Okay, that's fun. What do you remember about when you first got there? Did they give you any sort of physical rule manual? Did they buddy you up with somebody? What happened when you first got there?
I was buddied up with somebody. What's crazy, I was the fourth girl to arrive. I don't know how many boys were there. We never got to see them, except for seminars. But I was the fourth girl. I was buddied up with this really sweet girl. I it was very emotional. I was drained from the trip and trying to learn and all this stuff in such a short amount of time. I remember I got sent to OP my first day, observation placement. I think they called it isolation in the program show. Because I got there around dinner time. They took me into the cafeteria area where everybody was eating, and I said, I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat. And it looked horrible. A lot of the girls from there say the food was delicious. I don't remember that at all. But it was just horrible. And they said, well, you need to eat and you must finish your plate, and or there'll be consequences. And I refused, and sure enough, there was a consequence. I don't remember how long I was in there. I don't think it was that many days because I was new and learning. So I don't know how long I was in there, but we were you lay on your towel, on your stomach, that whole ordeal.
Okay. And how long after you got there did it take for everything to fully sink in?
Oh, wow. Not very long. The girls kind of filled me in. At that point, we were allowed to talk. I mean, there was only so many of us. And the girls filled me in on a little bit. And then just the staff, trying to get comfortable with anybody in the staff was hard because they were all Czech. And so, they could speak English, but, they don't understand, they don't comprehend how, like, our language is we do, you know what I mean? So it was really hard to get close to anybody except the girls. You did an interview with one of my best friends, Marie, and I clicked to her when she got there because she came after me. I just went, we clicked. And then afterwards, come to find out, both of our mothers were in the seminar together. It was ridiculous. But I don't know. It's something that I would never change, and I know that's weird to say, but my story is not necessarily like everybody else's, I think, because I don't blame my mom for sending me. She didn't know just as much as I didn't know what I was getting into, and she was saving my life. I had that Colombian boyfriend who had a fake passport, social security card, birth certificate, taking me to Colombia. And the night that we were supposed to go, his van broke down. And at 3, I think it was 2 or 3 that morning, is when the escorts woke me up. And if that doesn't tell you something, I mean, it's just, Mom, she saved my life again and again and again. And I thank her for that. Now, I'm not going to say we have the best relationship in the world, but it's a work in progress, and I love her and she loves me, and I don't blame her at all.
Okay. How long were you there total?
It was from April of 98 till November of 98, and then I was sent to Carolina Springs when the school got shut down, and I was only there I remember going home first because I had Thanksgiving dinner with my family. I remember that. And
Okay.
then they drove me up to Carolina Springs, and I was there a couple months because it had to be end of January I left of 99, because I remember New Year's Eve and them letting us have sparkling cider and singing Prince's song 1999. But Carolina Springs was much different than Morava. Much, much different. I physically was not abused at Morava Academy. And I'll say that.
Okay. What was the first, how long after you got there did they put you through first seminar, and what was your first seminar? Was it orientation or discovery?
I don't remember the orders of how they went, but I remember the names being, one of them was accountability, I want to say.
Okay. Okay.
And focus. Does that sound familiar? Or no?
Accountability might have been our principles. Focus sounds familiar.
Okay. I only went through 2 of them.
Okay.
That
Do you
was
remember?
exhausting.
I can imagine. Do you remember your I am statement by chance?
I am smart, kind, and beautiful, and be anything I want to be.
Okay.
I don't believe that anymore.
What makes you not believe it?
The mental abuse is just as bad. And excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine.
I feel like my life has been a complete shit show because of the program.
In what ways?
I have major social anxiety, but my mom says I've had that since I was little. I don't know. I have depression, anxiety. I hate being alone, but then I hate being around people at the same time. It's so bizarre. And I've never been able to trust anybody ever again. I don't, whew. I am very, fucked up in the head, and I can't keep a job. I don't have friends. This goes on and on and on. There were certain things that the survivors, I guess were called, were like, okay, so the staff focused on me, on my relationship with my mom, and how do I word this? Trying to beat into my head basically that how do I say it without sounding, because I'm from Atlanta and I was raised around certain things, I talked different. And they called it talking black. I didn't know you could sound like a color, but they kept wanting to beat into me. You're a white girl. I'm like, I know that. I didn't have issues with that, but I did have an accent. And that's been an issue.
So
My
they
whole
would
thing.
they would make fun of you for it?
But
They would make fun of you for it, so you do have an accent or you don't?
I would say they kept telling me that I keep trying to sound black. I keep trying to talk black.
Yeah.
And they were making fun was the least of it. I mean, just trying to say, you're white. You're white. You're not. I'm not trying to act a certain way. I just talk like that. And it was, I can't even explain it. I just don't even know how to begin to explain the feeling. I mean, I was the only white kid in my kindergarten class, okay? If that explains a lot. I was raised in an area that was what I knew. So
Yeah.
I don't get it. I still don't get it. But
So it's not that you had an accent, it's that you were raised in a certain environment, so that's how you just thought everybody talked. Or just
basically, I mean, in my family, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so just.
No, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to apologize for crying.
And I'm just so I'm just, my emotions are everywhere. I mean,
No?
when the Netflix program came out, I was a basket case, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't get everyone to watch. And that the people I was telling about it, and it's hard to explain to people why I am how I am. And I told them, I said, if you watch this program, you will know why.
Yeah, people just don't understand, really.
And I saw a lot. I saw a lot of abuse done. And that's their story, so I'll let them tell it if they want. But no child at the age of 15 should have to experience that.
I completely agree. Did you graduate?
No.
No.
I never made it off 2.
Okay.
Never. As hard as I tried sometimes. And then you lose all your points. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? Why do it? Why listen?
Yeah.
And then the feedback. Oh my God. And then us having to give feedback to the other girls that we're there with. And I learned how to cut somebody with my words so good from that program, that when I got out of there, I mean, I was known as being just mean. I was just a bitch. And I enjoyed it. I got a thrill out of hurting people with my words that did wrong to me or just looked at me different.
Was it how you actually felt, or was it just like did it bring out a side in you that you're not? Because I feel like there's a difference between having no filter and being somebody that you're not. You know what I mean?
Well, I definitely don't have a filter at all. I never
Yeah.
have. But I was very angry. I was very angry. I was terrified of getting sent back somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I acted a certain way at home, and then outside of home, I, was angry.
Okay. How many girls were there on average, or if you had to estimate when you got there, and how many were there when you left?
I was the fourth one to arrive, the fourth girl, and then at the end of it all, I want to say around 50, maybe. I don't know the exact number.
So 4 to 50? Damn, that was a big spike.
Yeah, they started, the girls and guys started coming in pretty regularly after a couple months.
Okay. And
I do remember that.
Did you have to staff any seminars? Did you staff any?
No. I was never put in any kind of staff position or anything like that. I remember Jenny, who did an interview last, I had this promotional video from Morava, and I'm in it.
Oh, wow.
And at the end of it, I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out, talking about that I'm so thankful. And you can see me looking that way at Steven. You don't see Steve right off. You don't see him on camera. It's just me, but you see my eyes because he was directing of what to say. And yeah, so I remember on that trip to Austria to do this video, all these sunflower fields, just driving by them, and we got to get out of the van. And it was our white t-shirt day, I remember. And we got to jump up and down in these sunflowers. They were filming it for, I didn't even see that part in the video, but that part, I don't know why, but it stands out as a great time. And I don't know if I was, by that time, I had in and out of OP all the time, act good for a little while, then rebel or whatever, and oh gosh, I do want to come clean about something that some of the girls that were in school with me know now, but not all. I had emergency surgery while I was over there.
Really?
And at the time, they told me they removed my gallbladder. But when I got back to the States and saw the surgeon, it had been my appendix that they removed. I woke up that one morning and I just didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do shit. Listen to anybody, talk to anybody. And I started complaining of a stomach ache. Thinking I was going to be able to relax in bed, maybe. No, sir. And I kept going on. And I was faking it. I was faking it. And they ended up taking me to the doctor. And I said, oh my God, I get to get out of school? I get to get out of this building? Hell yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to continue to have a stomach ache. I have no idea what this doctor is saying. We were taught German there, not Czech. And good God, I have no idea what he was saying. So when a staff member told me they want to do emergency surgery, oh my God, I was freaking out inside. But I can't admit that I just lied to these people, because what will they do to me then?
Yeah.
So I went along with the freaking surgery. I'd rather be cut open. Are you kidding me? So to the girls, I apologize. I was faking a stomach ache just to relax in bed and not do nothing for the day. But those girls were so great to me when I got back from the hospital. My mom had flown out there. And I thought she was going to take me home. But they had her so believing that we were lying to in our letters home, and she said that this is what they said you would say and things like that. So I mean, she said, you need to finish the program. You must finish the program. Well, that didn't happen. But yeah, so I recovered from that and healed up real nice. But thinking the whole time I was missing a gallbladder.
What did it turn out to be?
My appendix they took my appendix out for nothing.
Have you had health issues because of that?
No. No, none.
Okay. Did you get any school? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just laughing. I'm sorry.
Did you get any schooling done at either of these places, and did your credits transfer?
No credits transferred. To this day, at the age of 42, almost in July, I'll be 42. I have passed 2 parts of the GED, and I can't get past 2 parts of the GED to save my life. So no, I've never gotten it. And I don't. We did do school in both places. In Czech, at Morava, we were in a classroom with textbooks, and we were just told to work out of the books, basically. And I have a learning disability, and I can't comprehend certain things real well. And so again, my friend Marie, one of the girls in the school, really helped a lot. She's a smart lady, and she helped me out a lot through this with the school. But no, it did not transfer.
Okay. And what was the worst thing you saw or heard about in either of these places? And it can be more than one thing. And was there anything at all positive about your experience? And it's perfectly fine if there wasn't.
I'll say this. Yeah, yes, I saw abuse. I saw a girl hogtied with duct tape.
Was that at Morava?
That was, yes. When Morava shut down, there was 8 of us that were taken to the police station to be questioned. And from what I remember and what I was told, how they chose that 8 was the most that have been in observation placement. And when we got to the police station and were questioned, I personally, I know I lied to the police, and it made it very much more extreme than Morava really was. But come to find out, just a child being left alone under the age of 18 in a room by themselves is against the law there. And I mean, that's bizarre to me. But we were, that night, after being questioned, we were taken to what I thought for 26 years was a Czechoslovakian orphanage. But now that I'm being told it was a, what is it called, hostel or something like that. And there's people shooting up in the hallways and everything. And I remember the 8 of us going into one room. I heard that some people didn't have a not so good time there, and I don't remember. The only thing I remember about that is us finding one Marlboro Red cigarette and some of us sharing it, passing it around, and I got so fucking dizzy. And that's all I can remember about that. And I don't know why I can't remember anything. I've tried so many times. I just can't. And at Carolina Springs, it was a whole different thing. They were, American. I knew what they were saying, and they meant that shit. And I remember that a lot of us coming all at once to Carolina Springs, and I know, was it Montana? I think the other place that took a lot of the people.
Spring Creek Lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's where I went.
Yeah. Okay. And
But that's
that,
one of the
and
places.
then, okay, and then one in Utah, I think.
Yeah, that'd be Cross Creek.
Cross Creek, okay.
Yep.
And they didn't seem to be able to handle that many people coming at one time and doing intakes and all this stuff, and I think they were just getting going themselves already, so it was whew, it was very, very, very different. And I had I think it was a UTI or something like that. It was something. And they wanted to give me some medicine. And it was in the form of a suppository, but the kind that you insert up front for a lady. And they wouldn't let me do it myself. Now, mind you, before the program, I have already been through, whew, Jesus, I had already been through a really traumatic experience being raped. And so that them telling me that I couldn't give myself the medicine brought back all that for me. And oh, Jesus Christ.
It's okay, take your time.
I bet I look awful. Oh, I remember passing a note to a construction worker at Carolina Springs to help us, and I got in trouble for passing notes.
Wow.
And somehow my mom says that the director of Carolina Springs, I don't remember his name. It was an old white guy. His family was there in a house. I remember.
Was it Narvin?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't remember. Okay. But I remember, she told me that he lied to her about something on the phone. And she hung up the phone and immediately drove up there and got me. And I don't know what he lied about. He lied about a lot of shit. They all did, but that's how I was able to go home. I don't know how long I would have stayed if that hadn't happened. But yeah, I got in trouble for passing a note to a construction worker. It was an experience that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, but I wouldn't take it back either. And I know that sounds sick and twisted. I don't know if I would have gone to Columbia if the program hadn't got me.
I don't know if I would have gone to Colombia and died for being sold, or I don't know. What I do know for 100% fact is if I did not go to the program, I would have a better life today. I would be successful. I would be different.
Okay. Was there anything positive about your experience, and if not, it's completely fine.
Positive. The only positive thing that comes to mind is I have some pretty awesome females in my life that I went to the program with, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I went and flew to Seattle, Washington, years ago. Marie was pregnant with her second baby, and they're all grown up now. So, and I got to hang out with a handful of the girls for a weekend, and we had a lot of laughs, a lot of cries. I remember they started speaking German, and I understood it, and I couldn't believe that I understood it. And I can't remember how to say too much, but the girls, having them in my life, I love. They're the only ones that get me.
Yeah, I totally feel that. Have you tried to get your parents to watch the program? Have you told them how the program affected you? How's your relationship with your parents?
At first, I as soon as I saw it, the program, I was adamant that I wanted everybody to watch it, and I was calling my mom, wanted her to watch it. I don't think she has yet. Still, I don't care if she does or not. At first, I said I wanted her to because I wanted her to believe some of the things I said over the years. I don't think I was ever believed. And I didn't and I didn't share everything with them when I got home. A lot of the stuff they're hearing for the first time now. And if it helps one person, me doing this interview, then I'm happy. But my brother and my sister-in-law watched it, and they were, I mean, they're just shocked. My friends that watch it keep calling saying they're so sorry, and I don't apologize to me. I mean, you didn't do it, and I didn't get the worst of the abuse, and I apologize to the people that did. None of us deserved any of that. I know I was a troubled teenager. My mom tried police police defects, tried to get help for me. And nobody would help her. Nobody. So she did the best she could. I know I don't want her to feel bad, and I know she's going to after she sees this. And I'm sorry to her. But I don't even remember your question.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine. I kind of spaced it out too. I think we kind of went off on another subject. I think I was asking how your relationship with your parents was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My dad. I met him when I was 15, right before I went to the program. So there's not really a relationship there. Me and my mom, we're good. We are better than before the program, but we still could do a lot more, I think. I just don't think my family understands me.
I feel that.
The ugly duckling.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Let's see. What about reintegration into society? What has been the hardest for you since the program, and what do you struggle with the most?
Everything. I struggle with everything daily. Some days are better than others, definitely. I was scared when I came home. I was scared if I did anything wrong, I would be sent back to one of those places. And so for a while, I think I from what I remember, I think I was just following the rules. They put me back in school, high school, but it was a private school this time. And a couple of years after that, I got a lot worse. I started doing drugs and hanging out with, whoever I saw. And oh my God. I got really bad on drugs. And I overdosed. Not almost, I overdosed. And I remember the charcoal in the emergency room. And I remember for some reason I needed my brother. I kept asking my mom for my brother. And I went into rehab. And that was 2008. I got married in 2009. Divorced in 2014. And then I started doing drugs again. And in and out of NA and AA for ever since then till this day. And no, I'm not sober. No, I'm not clean. But until I find how to live with my own self daily, I gotta do something. I know it sounds awful, but I got to stay out of my head. My own thoughts are gonna be the death of me. I struggle more now with not wanting to be here anymore. What's the point? Is what I ask myself all the time. I think that I have not gone through with any of it because I don't want to hurt my family. But then it's like I outweigh everything. It's like, man, but they'll save so much money because they won't have to take care of me anymore. Oh my gosh. Whew, Lordy.
I was in your exact same position pretty much like 3.5 years ago. I'm 3.5 years clean off of meth and heroin, and I was injecting, and I did it for over a decade.
Congratulations.
So you can get off of it. I'm sure you will eventually. You just have to reach rock bottom.
I gotta come back home is what my sponsors keep saying.
Well, also you got to reach rock bottom, unfortunately, and you got to really decide for yourself that you're ready to just like just face all your demons and just like fully commit to it and just, I don't know. It takes a lot, and I'm still struggling even 3.5 years. And I'm not completely sober either. I'm on methadone and I smoke weed. I still consider that my version of sober. I'm working on getting off methadone because that's obviously not, it's not like harmful to you, but it's not healthy either. So you can do it. Just I totally know you can. But what's your DOC?
What's my what?
Drug of choice.
Oh God. Anything that gets me high and out of my head, I will take gladly.
I was just
It's awful, but I guess I would say pot. Pot is my anti everything. Just get me high. Let me smoke a joint, and I'll be back with you in a moment, and I'll be a better person. And that's
yeah. I don't feel like weed. I don't feel like weed is that bad. So I would stick
I
with
don't
weed.
either.
I would stick with weed. But
Same drug.
I was gonna say, if you are doing other drugs, just please, 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 please be fucking careful. And if you can, test your fucking drugs. It's really like you can order test kits online. Nobody's ever gonna do that, and I understand that. I've been an addict. I know what it's like, and you just don't want to wait and do all that bullshit of testing it and whatnot. But nowadays, it's kind of like just be careful.
Yeah,
It's like
it's scary out there.
that people don't give a fuck. They just want to make money, and
Exactly.
fentanyl's and everything. So just be careful.
Yeah, I was a pillhead. I was, and it is scary. I knew a lot of people that have died because of it. I mean, people like you said just want to make the next dollar, so they don't care. So
Yep.
I say that I'm only gonna shop with people I know, but how do you know, really?
Yeah, and they might not even know. They probably don't.
Right.
The
Right.
people that are getting it from the cartels or the straight plug or whoever the fuck they're getting it from, they can say that, but they don't really know unless they were there when it was manufactured, and even then, somebody could still slip something in. So,
Right.
I mean, it's always better to just be safe.
Yeah.
And you are worth it. Please don't kill yourself. And if you could go back in a time machine and not go through those places knowing what you know now, would you do it, and why?
I would still go to Morava, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. I didn't think I would say that. I even went over that question in my head.
Well,
But I think,
follow the first thing that came to your head, and why do you say that?
I don't know. I don't know. Both places were bad. Carolina Springs much worse than Morava, but both places were bad. But I had some laughs with the girls there, and I felt a part of something. I think our group was called the Band-Aids. And I think there's talk about some of us getting tattooed Band-Aids on us. But I felt a part of, and I'm glad one of my girls, Marie, has moved closer, so I'm going to see her more. So maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Yeah, you should try and get out of the house more. I struggle.
How do you know I'm always here?
I don't, but I struggle with being a shut-in. But I have an addiction to video games too, so that kind of helps with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to get out of the house more too. But it does help to being around survivor friends, as long as the person understands you and whatnot. And that's kind of hard to come by.
It is. It is. I immediately feel better when I'm talking to one of them. Immediately. And
yeah,
it's just a bond that nobody could break or would ever understand.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I would not go to Carolina Springs. Never again.
Okay. And do you have any kids?
Unfortunately, I do not have any kids. I have 2 godkids that I helped raise. No, I do not have any kids.
Okay. Do you have any pets?
I have Miss Cookie Lion. She is a Chihuahua. And oh, sorry, my phone did something weird. Okay, and she is a Chihuahua, and she is my child. Yes, my 4-legged baby girl. And then I have a couple cats, Forrest Gump and Travis Kelsey.
Nice. Well, at least you got some animals. Animals are extremely loving, so definitely love on your animals. They're there for you.
That's
Survivor
what gets me out of
communities.
bed in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, cats. Cats and dogs are fucking awesome.
They are. They are.
Did you hear about any grooming from the staff or sexual assault when you were there or witness anything at either of these places?
I didn't. Not at Morava. I did not witness sexual assault. No.
Okay.
Carolina Springs. I didn't witness anything at Morava, and I'll leave it like that.
Okay. And knowing what you know now, is it your belief that the remaining schools should or even could be fully regulated, or is it your belief that they should all just be shut down?
They should all be shut down. And I think every abuser needs to be charged or treated how we were treated.
Okay. And is there anything else you want people to know about your experience or anything that you might tell a parent thinking about sending their kid to a place like this?
What I would tell a parent, I'm sure they'll say I don't understand because I don't have kids, but I brought 2 godkids home from the hospital when they were born, and I wiped their butts for years. So I think I have a little bit of understanding. And listen to them. Listen to them when you talk to them. Don't just hear them. Listen. They'll tell you what they need. They don't need that. They don't need the program. If something is not working in your family, then everybody in that family needs to work and change things for the better, not sending a problem away.
Okay. And what do you think would have helped you instead of being sent away?
You know, getting me out of my environment, yes, I agree with that. I don't know where I would have gone, but getting me out of my daily routine of what I was doing would have been on point right there, because I'd show up to school for breakfast, I'd leave, show up back up to school for lunch and leave. I had to have my food. But the rest of the day I was in the apartments with, running around the streets of Atlanta, or Norcross, I would say. But getting me out of that routine of what I was doing and just listening to me.
Okay.
Not everything was a lie.
Most of it's not. The majority of it out there is not.
I mean, I exaggerated a lot, but it's not always a lie.
That's for sure. Thank you so much for coming on the show. If you ever want to do a part 2, just take some notes and let me know, and we will coordinate a part 2.
I didn't even look at my notes this time. I'm probably all over the place and look crazy.
Oh no, you did really well. But if you ever want to do part 2, then let me
Yeah.
know, and we'll make that happen.
I'm down.
If you if you watch this far in the video, please make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all updates, and leave a comment down below so we see you and start a conversation. Maybe you'll make some new program survivor friends.
Yay.
So we love to see you guys, and thank you guys for all the support. We will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.